Rusty.
Oi, Fernando. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining me today. I'm just going to slightly adjust my phone. Can you hear me okay,
Yeah,
Rusty? Yeah,
I
excellent.
can.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for having me here.
Oh, thank you for accepting my invitation. I'm really excited about our chat. So I'm
Same.
just going to start introducing myself briefly, maybe to your followers who don't know me. So my name is Fernando. I'm a Brazilian Portuguese teacher, and I was born in Brazil. I was born in Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul. That's the south of Brazil. And after I graduated from university, I came to London, and I've been living here for about 20 years now, and I've been teaching Brazilian Portuguese for about the same amount of time. And my website, my blog is funwithbrazilianportuguese.com. There's plenty of free material there for people who are learning Brazilian Portuguese, so check that out. Now, Rusty, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Well, I'm born and raised in Brazil. I currently live in Aracaju. And I actually study engineering in school. I'm doing my master's in computer science now, but I'm a language enthusiast and I love getting to know people from different places. And that's how I decided to teach Portuguese. I started about 4 years ago on YouTube, and now I also manage this page on Instagram. And I just love teaching Portuguese.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm going to talk briefly about how this live is going to work, what we're going to be talking about. So this is not going to be a lesson. We're not going to be teaching anything specifically. What we're going to be talking about is the mindset, things that people should bear in mind before start learning Brazilian Portuguese. Some of the things that we're going to be talking about are quite general. They can be applied to any language, really, but we will, as much as possible, make a link to Brazilian Portuguese, things that are specific to the language. So Rusty and I, we got together a few days ago, and we were talking about, we made a list of things that we think people should be aware of when start learning the language. So Rusty, I don't know if you'd like to start maybe with one of the items on our list.
Yeah, we could actually start with the importance of learning, when you learn new vocabulary, to associate a word with a gender. So if you think of a word with a gender, like this word is feminine, this word is masculine. For example, instead of learning the word casa, you learn a casa, because it's not just about a casa. The gender of the word, it's going to change pronouns, like possessive pronouns. You're not going to have to take that much time thinking, should I say meu casa or minha casa? If you learn a casa, these things will come more naturally. So whenever you learn a new word, you should probably learn with the article, the definite article, because it's just one word, one letter. It's either or a, and it's probably make your life much easier if you have to remember.
Yes, I think that's crucial. It's common for people to make mistakes regarding the gender, and because, I mean, sometimes a word might look like feminine, for example, like gia, which ends with an A, and that's a general rule. If a word ends with an A, it tends to be feminine, but gia is a masculine noun. So that will impact on when you say good morning, let's say bom dia instead of boa dia. So you need the adjective bom instead of boa. So that's one example. So yes,
Just
so vocabulary.
like the other word, like foto. Foto ends with O, which is generally masculine, but it's a feminine word. Eu vou tirar uma foto. I'll take a picture, not
That's
uma
right.
foto.
That's right, because foto is actually the short of fotografia, which does end with an A, but when people see the short version, it ends with an O, and people think it's masculine. So yeah. I will make from the grammatical gender, talking about grammar as well. I think one of the things that people, when start learning the language, and they realize after a while, is that the grammar, the Portuguese grammar, what they learn in the grammar doesn't always correspond to what people say in real life, how Brazilians speak, because Brazilians have a very sort of flexible approach to the grammar. So I think that's a crucial thing to bear in mind when learning the grammar, when learning Brazilian Portuguese in general, because people tend to be too fixated on what the grammar says, and then they can't understand what Brazilians are saying because it doesn't always match the grammar. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, they feel like, did I learn all those things I learned are wrong? I mean, how can I say something and not being understood if I learned exactly how it was in the textbook? But language is something that is always evolving, right? So it is adapting and it changes. You have to follow that in order to be understood. If you want to speak clearly, you have to keep some of the things in mind. And that brings us to another point, which is it is important to keep in contact with real authentic material, because if you following authentic material, you know how people are talking now, you know what you should bring from the textbooks and what you shouldn't, how things changed over the time.
Also, there's a big difference, I think, in Brazil, especially again, about formal and informal language. It's almost as if there's two separate languages.